Hey guys, this is the first of a series of videos where I show you every detail of every feature of the Project Go app so that you will know the app's full functionality and see just how easy the app is to use. This video will focus on the church membership features, which includes the member directory, member groups, role management, and more, all of which are designed to make it super easy to keep track of your church's members. This will save you time, ensure no member slips through the cracks, and help you keep all the member information organized. Let's dive in. All right, so here I am logged in as an admin to the Project Go app, and as you can see, we have the member directory open here. This is the first of several pages in this church membership drop down. And so we're going to spend most of our time in this video looking at the member directory, every detail about it, and how to use it and stuff. So let's start by scrolling down and just having a look at this member directory for this sample church. And as you can see, it just looks, very modern. All of the profiles here, before we even click them, you can see the main two pieces of information that you may want, and that is the email and phone number. And if we were to click on either of these, clicking on the email would open up the email client, and clicking on the phone number would open up the calling app. And so let's just click on this first one, and we get to see more details here, all of the details of the profile. Now if I were to click on the image, I can see a bigger version of the image. We have the address here, and we have the birthday, we have the email and the phone number, the workplace, and then any social media links. If I clicked on view and map, then that would pull up his address on the map. All right, now let's have a look at a family profile. I'll go to this Harris family. So we see here the family profile first, just with some basic information, the address and the anniversary, and any previous churches that they may have entered, and any comments. And then we can click through each of the individual profiles in the family. And one thing I didn't mention earlier is you can see what group they may be in. So here we have the kiddos information. So yeah, pretty straightforward. All right, so let's have a look at some of these options up here. We have a search field here. If I were to search for this family here or any other family, it just, it works very, very fast. That's one of the things I love a lot about the app. It's very quick. And then we have these filter options as well if I wanted to search by whatever groups have been created, and I'll talk about that here in a little bit. Member roles, I can search that way. I can also filter for former members. So like these individuals here, maybe they moved out of town, they're no longer members of the church there, but their information is still in the database if I wanted to be able to pull that up and see it as an admin. All right, so next, just click this question mark button here, and that pulls up a little help guide that we have a specific help guide for every page. All right, next, the export directory function. So if I click that, then I can download all the directory members. There's a couple other options here. I'll talk about those in a second. So if I want to download them all, I can download them as a CSV file or an XLS file. Later, we do plan to add PDF as an option to download, but let's just do a CSV file here. Click download, and it just pulls it right up. It just downloads it right away. You can click that and see it. All right, now let's select a few members. And this time, let's do an export of download only the selected members. Now, this third option here, download filtered members, is if I had filtered this out here, not necessarily selected anyone. We may be getting rid of this option though, because it may be unnecessary. So this time I'll download it as an XLS file. Click download, and you can open that right up as well. All right, now let's look at the member map in more detail. And so this is a nice way to be able to tell where everybody lives in relation to you or in relation to the church building. It by default centers on the church building, which is red. So if we zoom out, we can kind of see where everybody lives in relation to the church building. Actually, everybody's kind of spread out a little bit. A little lopsided too. But that's nice to be able to do, and you can hover over and see the basic information of all of these profiles. And if I wanted to view the whole profile, I can just view it straight from here. So that's nice as well. If I wanted to center on my location, my home's location, then I click that and it takes me there. Or I can click this button and it takes me back to center on the church building. And then you can filter up here if you want to, for example, search for a specific individual, then you can do that there. And then you can also filter by member group and member roles. So that's a really nice feature, the member map. So all right, let's exit out of here and let's create a new profile. So I'm gonna add a member here by the name of Derek Cooper. And let's go ahead and grab his picture. And so I'm just gonna zoom it in to his face, save that, and I don't know, let's say he looks about what, 30. So we'll do 1995, just say June the 6th, and automatically the baptism toggle is on. If you want to indicate a person is a non-Christian, then you can just toggle that off. But I'm going to leave it on here for Derek, and let's say that he was baptized in 2016 on August 18th. All right, let's put the gender in here, and let's put an address, email, let's put a phone number here. All right, and we're gonna say this guy is a dentist and he works for Cooper Dentistry. And let's say he went to Florida College. Social link here. And let's save, okay? So now we have a new user created. Now what I wanna do is create a family here, building off of Derek. So we're going to add a family member here. His wife is Jennifer Cooper. All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab that same picture from earlier, only this time I'm gonna zoom in on her face. Of course, you don't have to do it this way. You can use a separate image altogether, of course, but for simplicity, I'll do it that way. All right, let's select the family relationship. She is the wife. And let's save that. All right, so now we have a family of a husband and a wife. And so now let's add the child. So let's click add family member. All right, so let's save that. So now we have our little family. Now what I need to do is put in an image for the whole family. So we'll use that same image, and this time I'll just make it show all three of them. And so we save that. There we go. Now we have a family profile created, so let's go check it out. Here's the Cooper family, and we can just click through each one just like that. So that's how you add a profile as an admin. Now, if you were a member of the church and you want a profile, then there's a different path for that. Let me just walk you through that here briefly. So I'm gonna log out. So here is the login page. And so, don't have an account? Sign up. We're gonna fill in the information here. All right, so let's click continue. And then you would create your password and click continue. And so there we see the user is now ready to be submitted. Now, if you wanted, you could add family members right here if you wanted to go ahead and do that, or if you just want to send in a single profile, you can. But just for kicks, let's add family members just to see what that looks like. Let's just say that Ryan has a wife and her name is Sandy. Click that and click submit. You have successfully registered. Let's return to the login screen. Let's log back in with the admin. That just kind of walks you through how you would create an account, and then the admin would have to grant you approval. Now, I can, of course, as an admin, edit any of the profiles, but I want to show you now how you can make an individual profile that's part of a family profile, an independent profile separated from the family if that person starts his own family. So we're going to go to this child here, Levi. Let's say they have an older son and he has married or moved out of the house and he wants to be considered his own separate family. So what we do in this case is go down here to the bottom where it says make profile independent. And if we were to click that, then we confirm that. And now you see he's removed from here. And if we go back out here and scroll down to Harris, we see that Levi is now his own separate family, so to speak. And so if we wanted to come in here, we could add a wife on his profile, and then they have their own separate thing. So that's kind of a neat feature as well. Okay, next, let's leave the member directory and let's go down to member groups. We see here there have been 4 groups that have all been created. And if I click on any of these, it'll show the members that are in each of these groups, which is really neat. I can, of course, edit any of these. If I want to create a new group, it's really easy. Let's say I want to create group 3, and let's say it has a red badge, and then I can search for members here, or I just go through and select which people are part of that group. Click submit, and there we have group 3. All right, let's go next to account approvals. And so here's where we see any accounts where someone has gone in and registered to have an account and it has not yet been approved. So for example, we see that Kemp family here. So if I want to approve that, I just click accept request, and now that family will show up in the member directory. Now if I wanted to go in and complete the member profile because it hasn't been fully fleshed out, I could click that and it takes me here if I want to, add the images for this family and add any of the other details, address, so forth that has not yet been added. All right, let's go back to where we were. Now, if you review an account that you do not want to be, you can just click deny and that'll be removed. And so while we're at it, let's just go ahead and approve of this one as well. Okay, now next we're going to go down here to role management, and then I'll go to user roles after that. Now this is where we can create new role groups, and that just means different classes of users that have different levels of access inside the app. So the admins and members, these two come by default. So here we see volunteer, that's actually a group that I created with different levels of access to different things. And so you can do that. We'll just go ahead and create a new role group, and we'll say this one is tech team. And so you can just go through and select what level of access you want them to have. By default, everything is set to edit. And so if you want them to not have access to a certain thing, then you can go through here and change that. Click create, and there you have a new user role. And so next, let's go to user roles here. And this is where you as an admin get to select what user role each member of the church can have access to. And so if you want to change it, you can just go through here and change it. So there you have it. That's every detail of the church membership features. As you can see, we've made it easy to keep track of your church's members, which will help you to save time, ensure no member slips through the cracks, and keep all the member information organized. We'll continue improving these features and adding more features down the road. Take care, and God bless.